Hello and happy Monday. I'm Nancy from Nancy's Life Coaching. Change your focus, change your life. I changed the title for those of you who have been here for a couple of years, and I feel it was very fitting for this wellness community. Thank you for being here. So, today I want to talk about who do you trust? Trust is something that it's very difficult for some, and it's a very grandiose sort of idea to trust somebody. It's something that, a lot of us have a hard time trusting, and I'm one of them. I do not trust a lot of people. Um, I think that I think that it's something that we have to work on. And depending on our life experiences, it has given us cause to not trust certain people. So, with that said, who do you trust today? Who do you trust in your life? And then you have to think, why do you trust them? Why do you trust them? For me, the people that I trust are people who have integrity, who are authentic, who have proven they are dependable, they are reliable. For me, trusting people is, um, I'll give you a good example. Um, I give out respect to people right away because I feel that you should. You should be respectful to people. It shows your character. I don't feel people need to earn trust. I feel like I give it freely to them and then they can chip away at it. And then I can kind of figure out who I'm going to trust and who I'm not going to trust. Just by that element alone, the respect factor. The trust factor, I know that all of us have had moments in our lifetime where we trusted either, depending on the situation, our words, or trusted the care of our child, trusted, there's a million different things you could trust somebody with. And somewhere along the line we were disappointed, we were let down, and then it gives trust issues. And I can't say that every person has trust issues. All I can say is that at one time or another in our lives, we have had situations where we've we've instilled trust into another person, handed them such enormous amounts of vulnerability, and then we were let down. Part of the reason that I do what I do, and like I've said before, I was in behavioral health. I worked alongside some extremely intelligent and effective mentors, and I worked with people in group therapy for depression, clinical depression. Worked with people who had substance abuse issues, which I said in my last video, I'm not good at that because I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs. So I can't really relate, and you cannot really lead people or advise them if you have not been there. So today, speaking about trust, um, I feel like we've all been there. We've all been in situations. So one situation in corporate America, I know I talked about this a lot. I'm not a big fan of corporate America, and there's many reasons behind it. But I worked in the financial arena, and thank goodness I don't anymore. And I had one particular boss that I could go to. I could vent to her. She would actually listen to what I had to say. And, you know, I trusted her. And I still remember her. I absolutely adored her. She was real. She was authentic. and she was somebody that would have your back. I worked at another corporate America position, and I was given the impression, this is another trap we can fall into for trust. I was given the impression that I could speak freely. So I did. And I guess some people are not used to authenticity or honesty. And what I found was working in, management, middle management in large corporations, my experience is they want you to act like a robot. They want you to babysit people. They want you to follow their core values, which they don't align with their own core values. So, how am I going to demonstrate them? And so, I've had some major soul searching on corporate America. Nor do they want leadership taught. And leadership is a skill, it's a learnable, teachable skill, just like customer service is a skill. Customer service is a skill, and it can be taught. Some people grasp the concepts quicker and they are more efficient at it, and others do not. Not everyone's, really born to be a leader. Leaders have sacrifice. Leaders go first. Leaders are the ones who are on the front lines. They are taking care of everything. They're wanting you to adopt their skill sets and apply them. And they don't want to take the credit for it. They just want to see it happen, get out there and do it. And what I came across for my trust issues in business was the fact that you would hear in the interview, oh yeah, oh our morale is great, but yeah, everything's super, because one of the questions I would ask is, how's your morale? I don't want to step into a hornet's nest and have a bunch of coworkers, this one's at each other's throat, this one's upset, this one. How do you do your job effectively? The customers that would come in could see the discontention. They could see it. And then, I've worked at places where I had some really great ideas to bring morale up, to, kind of cultivate a home atmosphere, a more friendly atmosphere where we could talk about our weekend in 5 minutes before we started opening the doors and dealing with people all day long. We could connect with each other in a certain way. And some of these corporations, they're just not having it. They don't want it. I don't know if it's not in their budget to have authenticity, but it seems like it's just too much for a lot of corporations. And if they had this and people walked in, their customer base came in and saw this, camaraderie and a team working together instead of at each other's throats. Long story short, there's been different circumstances that I have been in personally where there was no fixing that bunch of people. It just wasn't going to happen. But it's just pack up and go home, because it's not going to happen. You're not going to fix an atmosphere that is full of discontention and strife. And the people who are going to work, what I found out for my own self, and you could apply this to yourself if you want, what I found out was when I was going to a job that I could not stand, so anxiety ridden by customer complaints, by, a million different things during the day, coworkers, backstabbing you, condescending. Ooh, that's a big pet peeve of mine. I do not like to be talked down to. I don't do it to people. I don't like it back in my face. And I will say something. I might let it go a couple times, and then I'm going to throw it back at you, and you're not going to like it. And you know what? I don't care. Probably why it's better that I'm doing what I'm doing now than having to conform to the corporate America. So now I lost my train of thought, but no, I didn't. I got it back. So, you can apply it to your life if you would like. I found going to a job where I'm throwing up in the bathroom because I'm so anxiety ridden and nervous and stressed out and waiting for the next whatever's going to happen during the day with someone's attitude or personality or a customer or a bad phone call or someone screaming at me because of somebody else did whatever. I found that I wasn't honoring myself. I wasn't trusting myself enough to make a change. So when I say, who do you trust today? Your number one person should be yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust your thought process. Trust you. You are the number one. The other people, they're not going home with you. They're not dealing with your life at home, nor do I think 80% of them care, which is funny because there's a statistic, and I think it's out of Stanford or Harvard. I'd have to double check. But there's a statistic where most of the best friendships start in a company, like coworkers. And I can say that's partially true. One of my best friends I met while working at a bank together. So I'd say that's partially true. But then the other part of it is no, I don't agree with that at all. Friends at work, and this is what I'm saying. If corporations would make it more of a friendly atmosphere, you're working together instead of against each other, they would be much more successful in their business. But I got to look like leadership classes. What are you talking about? Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that later. Okay, well, keep having turnover. Keep having customers come in and say, how come there's always a new face in here? Every time I come in, there's a new face. Well, if that's the way you guys want to do your business, then have at it, man. Go on. So that's what I want to talk about today. And I wanted to wrap it up with the end of my sermon, the end of my video. I like to do a little positive affirmation box. So the takeaway from this today is trust yourself. When you start to self-doubt yourself, start to, I don't know if I can do that, try it. Do it anyway. If you think you've done enough with something, go a little bit further. See what happens. What do you have to lose? That's the takeaway today. Who do you trust today? You. So let me get into this box here, this affirmation box. I'm not looking. Just going to grab one. And this will be a thought for the day. Oh, well, I mean, I kind of wish this was true. I'm a little bit tired today, but today I'm brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. I am overflowing with joy. Can you see that? Oops, let me see. Oops, this way. Today I'm brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Oh, and the sign behind me, I guess you can't see it because the camera is cutting it off, but it says, choose joy. Joy is a wonderful feeling and something all of us can have. All of us can have a happier, joyful existence. It's up to us, and it's your mindset. And your day is what you make of it. So with that, I will say goodbye and have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Thank you for being here. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're on my wellness site, and comment if you like. That's great too. I love the feedback. And if you're on my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my new videos. You'll be notified when I have a new video. And what else did I forget on that? Hit the like on that. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. All right. Take care, everybody.